is Kai, and today the topic that I'm gonna talk to you about is why young living. So a lot of people ask us this question all the time because there are so many essential oils out there, and Young Living is not the cheapest brand around. So this is one of the most common questions that I get asked because every other brand is selling Young Living right now. So what is so special about Young Living? Okay, now hopefully at some point in your journey you're going to receive this little booklet called Live Alive that we produce in one drop, and on the very second page of this book there is this page called the 8 Reasons to Choose Young Living. And I do want to run through this because myself and KY, our business manager, sat down to write this out. We have been users for the longest time. I started using the Young Living products since 2007, and I have so many personal experiences that I wish a short video could actually allow me to talk about. But today I want to run through these 8 statements that I wrote down, and I want to expound on it and explain to you why Young Living is different, at least from my point of view. Okay, so the first one, Young Living is about health and not about smell. So if you begin to understand the philosophy behind what Young Living does, this is not an aromatherapy company. So the oils that it produces are not meant to just make your place smell nice. There are some oils out there that you're gonna hate the smell of. So if you're a regular user, you might know oils like Rutavala, Vetiver, Valerian that are not nice smelling at all. So I wouldn't consider them the typical traditional aromatherapy where people are just purchasing the oil because they want something to help them relax. Young Living is a company that works with plants and tries to its best to distill a complete spectrum of oil. So when they extract the oils, what they're looking for is that the oil will contain all the necessary ingredients in there that is going to make this useful for your health. That's why I like to think of the company that it is not about smell, but Young Living is always about health. From that perspective, one of the important things that I always want people to think about is that there are lots of imitation out there in the market that I am personally very concerned about. It is very easy to purchase imitation products online. Any third-party websites that you go into, you're probably going to find that the products are 1/3, 1/4 the price of the original Young Living product. And I have over here some products to just quickly show you. This is an original Young Living lavender. This looks a little bit more aged, but this is an imitation Young Living lavender that you can purchase online. So for a new person, it is almost hard to tell which is which. So one of the things I always tell people is if you're purchasing something from a third party online, you're actually risking a lot because you have no idea what someone else is going to put inside a bottle like this, and they go through tremendous effort to make sure that the oils look similar. This is one of our most popular products, Thieves. This is an imitation Thieves that you can purchase online. Again, if you're a seasoned user, that's a different story. But if you're not a seasoned user and you just heard about the oils from a friend and you're thinking, hey, let me Google, you're gonna find some really cheap products online. But here's the thing, you don't know how it's been tempered with. Even if it comes with the original Young Living bottle like this, do you know how easy it is to remove that plastic orifice, remove the original content, and then this white cap that comes attached to a ring can be easily purchased from Taobao or any other online websites. And then basically somebody can actually just put some content inside your bottle. It'll probably be sealed. So you look like you have an original bottle, but you don't have the original content. So again, the reason why I want to bring this up is that it is so important that you're getting the essential oil from an authentic source, which is Young Living itself. When you're purchasing from the company, you actually have the guarantee that if anything goes wrong with the oil, you can bring it back to them, show them the receipt, and within, I think, a 3 months period, they're going to be able to exchange the product with you, right? So that goes back to this whole guarantee and whole commitment to what the company is about, that they're always focusing on producing the best products. So don't cut corners, okay? The company doesn't cut corners, you shouldn't either, okay? Now, the second part of it is that Young Living owns its own farms and distilleries. And over here, I pulled out 3 oils that I've actually been to the farms and I have had the most wonderful memories. Ylang Ylang. This is grown in Ecuador farm. So we get the chance to be there, bathe in the ylang ylang water, which is when the essential oils get distilled. It's a byproduct that is wonderful for the skin. We've been to the Northern Lights Canadian farm, and this is where we witness the harvesting of the black spruce under the Northern Lights. So this is a beautiful place, and by the way, because we have our own farms, members are always invited to, it's open door policy. Members are invited to visit, to take part in the harvests or the planting processes so that you know what goes into that bottle. And here's another oil that I was involved in harvesting, and that's the Idaho balsam fir. Again, we had a small group of members that went up to the farm and we spent time under really cold temperature as well. Northern Light was, of course, much colder, but we learned to harvest the plants, chop the trees, watch the chips get chopped into tiny pieces. We heave them into the distiller. We watched the first Passover, which is a technical term when the essential oils first come out from the plants. And we got to bottle our own bottles of oil. So because we have our own farms, we're able to witness all of that and understand that the company does not cut corners and wants to ensure that everything is done ethically. It's also done in such a way that you get the purest oil possible. Number 3, we also have very strict quality controls. Every bottle of oil, every bottle goes through at least 90 different tests from the start to the end, different locations, to ensure that the quality of the oil is not contaminated in any stages. Number 4, we use first distillates only. What is that? So think a little bit of like boiling herbs, like traditional Chinese medicine. So when you first heat up traditional Chinese medicine, your very first cook is very thick, very potent, is filled with all the nutrition that first batch of TCM herbs is supposed to give you. It's the same concept with essential oils. During that very first distillation, that very first batch of oils contain the most powerful resources in there. Now, some other companies may run through distillation second time, third time, or fourth time, just to make sure that they save money and they kind of really try to drain the plants of as much of its essential oils as possible. Young Living does not do that. Number 5, better than organic. So one of the most common questions we always get asked is, are you guys certified organic? We're not. Okay? We're not, because if you totally sit down, Google, find out, read about the industry of certifying organic products, you're going to realize that even the term organic does not require the 100% of the ingredients to be organic. So it could be a 90+%, and you can get that label. Is that good enough for Young Living? No. So if a piece of land, in order for whatever that is actually grown out of there to be certified organic, it needs about 3 years where there is no pesticides being used on that land. But what Young Living does is under our own seed to seal guarantee, that land has to be 50 years free from pesticides use. So then the company is interested in looking at planting over there, harvesting over there, because then we can be much more sure that there is no contamination to the plants and to what's going to be produced from the plants. Open door policy, a little bit I talked about earlier on, you're invited anytime to visit any of the farms. Environmentally conscious and sustainable. So as one of the largest, actually we are the leading company in the industry, Young Living is always about sustainability. If there are anything that they come to be aware of that is unethical, they will stop the entire production, they will investigate, and they will make commitment, which they have recently in different situations, to work with the government agencies to ensure that plants are never wiped out from a land, that that reforestation is always taking place, so that there will never come a time where we are hurting planet Earth just because we are harvesting plants so frantically. And last but not least, constantly improving. We have an amazing team that sits in the Young Living headquarters in Utah, and they're constantly, as the scientific council, monitoring what are some of the changes that's happening in the industry. They're always looking out for the best things to use, the best ways to ensure, the highest quality of ingredients, especially if it comes to supplements, is being used in your products. So those are the 8 big reasons why we use Young Living. I don't know about you. A lot of times as a consumer, it's the fancy marketing that we see out there that derails us and makes us think that a nicer packaging or some kind of fancy certification logo is going to ensure the quality. Many times, I think consumers are learning that things are not so straightforward anymore. So in a much more complex marketplace, we are also learning that as users, we need to do our due diligence and we need to find out more about the company. So I'm going to encourage you, if you're very new with Young Living, ask your friends, find out, don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't just jump into anything that you read online, because the online is a free place for people to talk about anything of their personal opinion, which may not be a fact. Take time to discover why we have the best essential oils. Because if you're choosing this lifestyle, if you're deciding that you want to incorporate essential oils for your family's health and for your own health, I'm sure you don't want to cut corners. I'm sure you only want the best. So hopefully, some of those reasons that I managed to share with you today will make sense for you. Thank you very much. We'll see you again.